For anyone looking to escape the 9-to-5 grind and launch a freelance career, new course reveals a counterintuitive approach that tells the truth about getting started as a freelancer. Parentheses, what the Lamborghini gurus won't tell you, while also building a sustainable income, having more freedom, and enjoying more time with family.
I don't like it.
I don't either.
It lacks uniqueness. It says a new course, vague. Counterintuitive approach, vague. The truth, vague. Getting started as a freelancer, vague. Every one of those small components could all be sharpened. Like you could say my 3-step process or something, which would still be vague instead of course. Say all you need is 3 modules to see this weird way to learn the secrets about launching your freelancing career in 20 days. All of those are little ways to sharpen each of those little component pieces that are so vague.
I think sharpen is the key word there. Warren, sweetheart, my love. It's like you chose all of the classic freelancer copy cliches and just strung them together.
When you throw together too many of those, it just becomes like a really big blob. And while I think that someone who is like really vaguely into like the freelance stuff is thinking about this might read it and relate to each of these things, it definitely doesn't do so in a way that's going to like actually stand out in the memory when, you know, a day or 2 days later they're thinking, oh yeah, what was that thing I was thinking of? It is just going to kind of like fall flat. I think you need at least one key thing there to have them like be like, oh yeah, that one thing that.
The only really original thing that I see here is the painting of this enemy, the Lamborghini gurus. This is all one sentence. And as a result of that, you are falling into a trap that I frequently call preposition stacking. For anyone to escape the 9-to-5 grind and launch the to escape, that's technically an infinitive, but I'm going to call it a preposition. And so you have a compound there. New course reveals a counterintuitive approach that tells about getting as a freelancer while also building a sustainable income, having more freedom, and enjoying more time with the family. So it's just like you're stacking clause after clause after clause after clause and expecting people to automatically understand the nuanced and complicated relationship between all of these clauses. The reason why this headline complex is failing isn't just because the idea feels half-baked, it's failing at the grammatical level. You're not even allowing yourself the chance to have a good, clear, like crystalline idea being presented in this headline because you're so busy trying to stack all of these prepositional clauses one on top of the other and compounding and stuff like that. Try to break it up a little bit because that's going to force you like, okay, what is the most important thing and most specific thing that you can focus in on in the eyebrow? What is the most alluring and weird thing that you can focus in on in the headline? And then what are the most specific and like focused benefits you can identify in the deck copy?
I'm gonna mention also like the 4 U's, which is like a classic, like just checkbox sort of strategy for headlines. It's like the baseline. And in order of importance, they go unique, useful, urgent, ultra specific. And new course is not unique. Like right out of the gate, you should just say, okay, like, are there any other new courses out there? It's just, it ends right there. One other little thing is, while it says while also building, typically, again, like just following like copy tradition and rules, you would say without feast or famine income, without being chained to a desk, without losing time with your family. You'd say, it usually is like, here's the thing I promise, without. What this is sort of like, if it's preposition stacking before, well, now it's benefit stacking. It's kind of like, oh, benefit. I say unique is more important than useful because I don't even get a chance to experience the delivery of a useful message unless you grab my attention. As soon as I see new course, it could be like new course that's free and has only minted millionaires. I've already checked out though when I see new course. It's got to be something unique before I'll even entertain whether or not it's useful. So I think unique is more important than useful.
I'm also a little bit confused about the target because it seems like he's targeting people who have this idea of potentially quitting their 9-to-5 and hopping into doing something freelance. But like the name of the product is Getting My First Gig, which seems to be speaking to somebody who has already sort of made that decision and it has started on this journey and is now attempting to like get clients, right? To me, it's just a little bit confusing.
This is a place where I think Warren has a little bit more expertise than us when it comes to freelancing, because I think a lot of the same people who are going out there and are starting freelancing are the same people who are thinking that they are going to be building a career even though they haven't gotten their first job yet. And so it's appealing to like the sort of aspiration that those people have, even though there is like this discontinuity between those concepts on like a literal level.
I get that, but if this is in fact a client, get your first client. I can't read the rest of the copy. I haven't actually seen the rest of the copy, but I'm going to assume that that's what's happening here. It's like a new course. I'm about to reveal to you a counterintuitive approach to landing your first gig as a freelancer or whatever, right? You can give that a name or whatever you want to call it. But just look at this, while also building a sustainable income, having more freedom and enjoying more time with family. Like there again, it goes back to these, like it's just a missed opportunity here because you're using like these very common cliches that you would use to speak to somebody who is like kind of just starting out on this journey of, potentially becoming a freelancer.
So like the guy who's just getting his first gig as a freelancer, like who is that person? Like more specifically, is he a family man? Is he someone who doesn't like feast or famine cycles? Does he hate his 9 to 5? Okay, yeah, I get that too. So Saad wrote a counterintuitive freelancing approach that Lamborghini gurus won't tell you for free. I'm glad he put that in here because I think he still misses the point, and it gives me an opportunity to sort of demonstrate the point I want to make. The headline, looking at that, could be Lamborghini gurus will never tell you this about starting your freelancing career. See how I took the most unique element, I started with it. Here's another thing that drives me nuts about every niche outside of financial pretty much. They explain the promo in the headline. They basically just give you a synopsis. No, dude, it's a headline. Its job is to grab attention, make me go, huh? So if I put Lamborghini gurus will never tell you this freelancing secret. So now instead of explaining, like, hey, today, welcome. It's Thursday, 3:15 p.m. and I feel like I'm going to share about, some secrets and stuff that could help you if you're a beginner freelancer and you want to get your first gig. There's actually like 3 or 4 things you need to do while also building sustainable income, having more freedom. People do that all the time. If it's got like 5 lines in the headline, there's no doubt you've slipped into some sort of explanatory headline where you're like, this is what this whole sales letter is about. Take it or leave it. Instead of really doing what a headline's meant to do, and that's grab attention.